So how's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today I am doing something different. I am reacting to the events that occurred in the early morning hours of New Year's Day here in New Orleans. I'm a resident of Louisiana, so this kind of was very scary for me, knowing that these things happen right in my backyard. Before we start this video, I just want to say that my heart and prayers are out with the families and loved ones of everyone involved within this terrorist attack. I hope for peace, joy, and comfort for those involved with this in the coming days, in the coming months, and just the coming years, knowing you have to wake up every day without a loved one just because of this attack. Stuff like this has no place in our world, and it's sad that some people have built up enough courage to do these type of things. So I just want to say that again. My thoughts, my prayers are with the families and the loved ones of everyone involved by this. All right, so this video comes from WWL News. It's a very popular news station here if you are from the New Orleans area. So, I guess let's just hop right in.
Body cam video released today shows the Bourbon Street attacker firing at officers before they shot and killed him, stopping what could have been an even more destructive tragedy.
It took just 37 seconds for Shamsuddin Jabbar to kill 14 people and change dozens of lives forever. But he had bigger, more horrible plans than being shot and killed by police a few blocks into Bourbon Street. We know this because of the careful planning and movements he made in the hours leading up to 3:17 a.m. on New Year's Day. We've been combing through videos and photos released publicly by the FBI and some you'll see only here on WWL Louisiana. We begin tracking his movements on Halloween 2024. We start on
Oh God, Halloween 2024. So this was a definite planned attack.
Bourbon Street at St. Louis on October 31st, 2024. The FBI released this video that Shamsuddin Jabbar recorded on meta glasses riding down the street on a bike. And look here, you can see on EarthCam video uncovered by WWL Louisiana as Jabbar rides right through the live stream at 4:25 p.m. That catches him at the intersection of St. Peter and Bourbon, but he does eventually ride down Royal Street and get to Canal Street at Camp. That's where we see him turn from Canal onto Charter Street, recording on meta glasses as he goes. At 4:54 p.m., he's spotted on security camera in the 900 block of Charters, a pretty full cruise of the quarter, 2 months before the attack. Jabbar visited again November 10th, though we don't have video of that trip or know what he did while in town. We are able to track many of Jabbar's movements on December 31st in the hours before he drove down Bourbon Street. Around 9 p.m., his rented truck was spotted in Gonzales, Louisiana. An hour later, he was seen taking things in and out of the truck in front of a rented home in St. Roch. At 12:39 a.m., a Ring doorbell captures the truck used in the attack with coolers in the bed, turning off North Rampart Street onto Governor Nichols. The FBI says he parked nearby, and at 1:12 a.m., he's seen walking toward Bourbon Street. You can see him here in a trench coat walking in the 800 block of Governor Nichols. Jabbar makes his way onto Bourbon Street at 1:48 a.m. That's where he's seen on video rolling one cooler we now know was full of explosives.
And that's crazy. That's crazy. And it's just sad that is the world we live in today. The fact that there's evidence that this was not only a planned attack. We're not talking 2 days before. We're not talking a week before, not even a month before, but this attack was obviously planned. Started October 31st, months ago. This attack was obviously planned, and I support the law enforcement officials and partners we have in this community and within the state. But my personal opinion is that if we would have done a better job securing that street for this very high-scaled event, none of this would have happened.
You can see just how big the crowds were as EarthCam was streaming live on Facebook at that very minute, with Jabbar just a few feet out of frame. And another angle from the FBI at 1:53 a.m. shows him a little closer to St. Peter Street, where the FBI says he left the cooler. He waves and turns around and walks back in the direction of Governor Nichols.
So he's waving at the camera. There's no one else he could be waving at. He knew exactly that there was a camera right there, and he's waving. He's like, hey, this is me. I know you're going to see this clip. This is me, and this is what I'm about to do. It's just absolutely pitiful and ridiculous, dude.
FBI says he left the cooler. He waves and turns around and walks back in the direction of Governor Nichols.
So it's now just before 2 a.m. Jabbar has parked his car somewhere near this intersection, has walked onto Bourbon Street, placed his first bomb, and is now walking back to the area where the truck was parked.
That's where he's seen again, walking down Governor Nichols toward his parked truck. Photos from a different angle released by the FBI show him in more detail. And 4 minutes later, at 2:07, he passes the house again, back in the direction of Bourbon Street, empty-handed. But Jabbar isn't done. At 2:20, he's spotted back on Bourbon with a second cooler. The FBI says he places it at Bourbon and Toulouse. While any photos of Jabbar on the EarthCam site have been taken down, you do see the first cooler in this angle, which is pointed down Bourbon toward Governor Nichols. There are crowds just inches away from pointed down Bourbon.
And again, look how many people are lined up on the street. There should have been no way that a vehicle could have, accessed the street. Barricades. There should have been extra barricades. There should have been extra police units blocking this. It is sad that a vehicle was able to access this street and just ram through hundreds of people. Absolutely sad.
Toward Governor Nichols. There are crowds just inches away from the explosives. And we know at some point before the attack, the cooler is rolled almost a full block. You can see it here at Bourbon and Orleans.
No video or photos of Jabbar have been made public that account for the time between 2:20 a.m. and 3:16 a.m.
That's when surveillance video from Canal Street shows his truck headed north, then make a right on Bourbon at exactly 3:17:04 a.m.
And this is the thing. You have a squad car right here. What is the point of having a squad car right here if it's not going to be blocking the entrance? If it's not going to be blocking the entrance to Bourbon Street, what is the point? There's no barricades right there. He literally just ran someone over. What's the point of having a squad car right here if there's going to be no barricades? If there's going to be no barricades, move the squad car up, have 2 squad cars there so shit like this, does not happen.
He tears down Bourbon, passing in front of Crystal at 3:17:13 as people run for their lives. A fraction of a second later, the first call goes into dispatch.
I need EMS at Canal and Bourbon now! Canal and Bourbon now!
And by 3:17:41, just 37 seconds after turning off of Canal, Jabbar had crashed and police had surrounded him, guns drawn.
Now, I know I've been critiquing the police a lot within this video, but one thing I will give them their points on is the fact that they were not afraid. They were not scared. When this act happened, when this event happened, they ran towards it. They did not run away from it. They did not stall. 37 seconds is all it took for them to get there, to find out what the threat was, and to delete the threat, essentially. And it's just big props to those officers, because I can't say that I would have been that quickly to run towards a threat. These officers have wives, they have husbands, they have kids, they're a mother, they're someone's son, they're someone's daughter, and it's just very brave of them. The fact that they might not have the chance to go home because of what just happened that night, but nevertheless they still ran to the threat. So a huge prop to all the officers on scene there.
Destroyed and ended lives for 2.5 blocks before it all ended near Conti Street. At this point, the 2 bombs he had placed were at Bourbon and Orleans and Bourbon and Toulouse. Police officers are positioned between those 2 spots, and they're seen on EarthCam running toward the scene.
And this is exactly what I'm talking about. As soon as they hear it,
between those 2 spots, and they're seen on.
There's no hesitation. There's not a single trooper, officer, or deputy that hesitated. They were there.
EarthCam running toward the scene, running toward the sound of gunfire. At 3:17:45, NOPD engaged in an 8-second shootout, ending Jabbar's 37-second rampage that he had planned for months to be much worse. Much worse, because as police are clearing Bourbon Street, the first cooler Jabbar left is still at Bourbon and Orleans. In the hours before sunrise, it's moved from the street, but you can see officers then taking a closer look at something on the sidewalk. Then more officers respond, and at 3:44,
2500 to headquarters. Raise me a bomb dog or explosive device dog.
Later, the FBI released a photo of that cooler at this very spot.
And we continue to honor the lives of those 14 victims taken in last week's attack with a different day dedicated to each person. Today we honor.
You know, it's just very sad that these individuals had to leave life this early because of an attack like that. It's very sad, you know. It's horrific. It's horrible. Every one of these people should still be with us here right now, walking this earth. I have no words. It's just sad, man.
Attack with a different day dedicated to each person. Today we honor William Billy DeMeo. The New Jersey account executive was just 25 years old. His family described Billy as a natural leader with a rare soul. His funeral was Wednesday. Another young victim of the Bourbon Street terrorist attack was laid to rest today. Nakaira Dito was only 18 and had hopes of becoming a registered nurse. A few hundred came to pay their respects in Gulfport. Many wore pink, which was her favorite color. Friends say she was a happy, loving, cheerful person who always wanted to make everyone smile. Over the weekend, other victims will also be laid to rest. Tomorrow morning in Roseland, Reggie Hunter will be remembered beginning at 10. Also at 10, visitation will begin for Nicole Perez at Jacob & Son Funeral Home on Canal Street. Then at 11 o'clock, friends and family will gather at Archbishop Shaw Gymnasium in honor of Hubert Gothrow. And tomorrow afternoon at 2, Matthew Tenadorio's loved ones will come together at Audubon Funeral Home in Slidell. And Sunday, a funeral will be held for Drew Dauphin in his hometown of Montgomery, Alabama. And to help all of those victims, Dillard University is hosting a benefit concert at the Georges Auditorium from noon to 4. Several local musicians are taking part, and mental health professionals will also be on site. Admission is free, but donations are encouraged. And you can find more ways to help on your website,
Again, before I proceed, I just want to say that my thoughts and prayers are out, you know, with these individuals and with their family members. It's just sad, you know. It's sad to know that this is what our world has come to. It's sad to know that you can't even go out and, you know, have a great time anymore without that being in the back of your head. So that's going to be it, guys. I won't say I hope you guys enjoyed the video, because there was absolutely nothing to enjoy here. Yeah, that's going to be the video, guys. Prayers are out with these families.